The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live, Cumberland County's smartest hour of talk radio. Welcome back to another edition of the Carolina Cabinet.
Mike's turn. Well, everyone, good evening and welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm your host, Peter Pappas, in studio with the lovely Laura Mussler.
Hello, hello.
Thank you for being here with me always. So we are proud to be the only homegrown conservative talk radio show in the region, and we know this is the smartest hour of radio. Our job is to give a voice to the conservatives of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond. And with that, what you been up to the last few days?
What did I do? I spent yesterday doing absolutely nothing.
Excellent. Good for you.
It was a nice day. I didn't even get out of bed.
Nice.
Well, I did go out of bed to go to the bathroom because I didn't pee on myself. But
you weren't ill or anything. You just took a day.
No, I just said I'm checking out of life today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fair enough. I think I was equally unproductive. No, yesterday I was very productive.
I was going to say you had meetings.
I had meetings and stuffs and doings and business. So
and you went out of town?
For those of you who are entrepreneurs, I think you understand there is no rest. And there's never a point in your business where you're like, yeah, I'm good. I don't have to really worry anymore. You're always going to constantly do that.
That's
true. Although I've never seen you so happy as when the FedEx guy arrives. I hear him backing out right now, but you were like a kid on Christmas morning.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So what do we have coming up? We have the short session in Raleigh beginning finally tomorrow, Tuesday, the 21st April. Today is 420 day, so I didn't really know what the significance of that was.
You're supposed to get high or something.
Well, I walked in, I saw a tenant today, and she was like, "Happy 420," and I'm like, I don't know what the hell. Mm-mm. Yeah, that I didn't have to look it up. It just took a second to click.
I know May 4th. That's all I know.
May the 4th be with you,
yes,
think? Okay.
Exactly right.
Okay. Well, today's 420 to those of you who celebrate. Baldino's has got steak and cheese, French fries, onion rings, freshly baked cookies.
They do have some good
to satisfy any of your cravings, I would say. So just because it's short session doesn't mean small consequences. Our lawmakers are going back to Raleigh. It's part of the legislative cycle where the agenda gets tighter, the window gets shorter. The issues that remain are usually the ones with real political weight. I think there is nothing more politically weighty than the budget.
Exactly. We need to get that underway, don't we?
I mean, look, you've got the short session. I don't know how long it goes. It only goes till May, June, something like that. And then these guys are going to be running for election over the summer. And then in November, we have a general election. So, I mean, we really need to focus on getting a budget passed. There's been a lot of discussion about Hurricane Helene aid.
Okay. What about going on that? Well,
if we don't pass the budget, we can't continue to fund it. So I heard Governor Stein on another show. I don't know if I really agree with this. He says North Carolina is not a poor state, but we're funding our teachers and troopers and stuff like that as if we are a poor state. What do you think about that? The way he put that? Like, basically, it makes it sound like we're Glenda Gottrock over here.
Okay, well, we do. I know we do have a surplus of money, so we need to make sure that we're paying our people, don't we? Because we do have a surplus. We didn't have a surplus when the Democrats had the office, but now that the Republicans are in the majority, we do.
Okay. Well, makes sense. I hate the implication that it's like we have this big bucket of money that we're just holding out on helping the citizens. That was the only implication I took from it, was like, so, and Governor Stein's a Democrat, so he's on that side of the aisle. Does that mean the other side of the aisle doesn't prioritize?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
We're just a little more fiscally responsible, and it's, we want to know where the money is going. I do. I want to know where the money's going. I don't like the idea that we don't know, these these non-governmental agencies that come in between the government and the funds where they need to go. We need to give them where they need to go.
With oversight. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think one of the things I heard him discuss was the income tax, that we have one of the lowest income taxes in the Southeast. And he mentioned, and this was Well, state income tax.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Wait a minute.
6% years ago.
How much income tax does the Florida pay?
0.
Oh, okay. So we're not the
I
lowest.
said one of the lowest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the lowest. Now, what's the merit? So our state income tax for corporations is 2%.
Mm-hmm.
What's the merit of going to 0 for these guys? It's 2%. It's a rounding error. You're talking about giving billions of dollars to these companies that oftentimes the ones that are big enough to pay that kind of stuff, they're Fortune 500s. It's not going to come back to North Carolina unless we tax them.
Right.
If we give them a discount on the taxes, I don't think anybody's not going to relocate here because of a 2% tax.
I don't think so. Instead of you can raise it to 3% and then get rid of our
personal
ones, because I can spend my money but much better
Absolutely.
than any other person.
Well, North Carolina has so much going for it.
Mhm.
I mean, from Murphy to
we're like in
Manteo,
the top,
we,
we're in the top 7
Yeah.
states to relocate. I think we're like number 4 or 5.
how many times have you heard me say nobody retires up north? Everybody comes
That's
here.
true.
But then they bring their BS socialist
Yes.
programs with them, and we're like, no, go home.
Right.
Go do that back there since it was so great. But everyone's welcome here, and we got some great stuff going on.
Well, not everybody. If you bring your Sharia law with you, go away.
Well, there's that, or if you're a 20-time convicted or unconvicted criminal mental felon that
Right.
kills girls on subways,
Yeah.
you can stay home.
Stay where you are. So I've been watching Tommy Robinson, so I'm all
Is that Irish guy you're talking
Yes.
about? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder if is there a clip or something maybe?
Well, I don't have a clip, but I mean,
You
I've
don't?
just in my spare time on my phone when I've got nothing else going on, I watch his. He has so much knowledge.
What's his?
Okay, he's from Ireland.
Ireland.
he-
Okay.
And he grew up in the streets, and he actually has been arrested many, many times because the government has put him in jail for exposing
Mhm.
the extreme abuse, murder, and rape of women in his country, in his streets, where it was because of Sharia
the
law.
Okay.
Right. So the people that moved there that practiced the Sharia law,
Mhm.
those adult men are committing. It was like in his area was only 5% of the men to start with. They were conducting or doing whatever over 96% of the rapes and murders. Those men.
Wow.
That were happening.
And how big of a population were they?
5 or 6% of the
Okay,
population,
okay.
and they were over. I mean, like, hello, there's a problem. So they actually made it a law, if you can believe this, that you couldn't report on these criminal trials as
Just
they
for
were going
everybody
on.
to see, I'm going to put it up
Okay.
on the monitor so they know like who we're talking about. If I can get this thing to not.
So they made it a crime for reporters to report as these people were going after.
Mhm.
Yes, there he is.
Is that his name? Tommy
yes.
Robinson. If you type that in, you'll catch all of
Yes,
his videos.
from Ireland. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, they made it a law where you couldn't report as these crimes. Finally, they started arresting
Mhm.
people, and they only arrested like a small portion of them.
Mhm.
And these cases would last for 6 weeks, and they would be talking about these horrific things that these guys did to these girls. So they made it a law where you couldn't discuss it until the day of
So
sentencing.
these people can offend, but you don't want to offend the offender.
Right.
So we don't want any attention brought. Imagine the OJ trial with a press gag order.
Right.
That it went all the way to the sentencing before we found out that he killed his wife.
Well, he was found innocent.
He killed his wife.
He was found innocent.
I'm not playing that game. I was in high school when that stuff happened. Everybody knew
If
he
the
was
glove doesn't
Don't
fit,
fit,
you must acquit.
some of the best and oft-quoted lines probably in any law school that year.
Like that
yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
this. That was funny.
There's rumors that like he didn't take his arthritis medicine, so his hands swelled up before. There was all kinds of.
And I ride a motorcycle.
Mhm.
So when my gloves get wet, it takes me like I
yeah.
have to work to put them back on, and they're like, for me. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Okay.
But I'm in love with this guy. He's freaking phenomenal.
Okay. Well,
So-
I like the idea. I think we should talk to Patty about that.
That
Wonder
would
what
be
Patty
excellent.
thinks about that.
That would be.
We need to have him back on for sure.
I would love to have Tony Robinson in
So,
here. I was just like
Tommy
Tommy.
Robbins.
Tommy
I'm
Robbins
not
is someone
trying.
else.
I'm not
There
trying
we
to
go.
get rich quick at the airport.
No.
So
anyway.
we had some action with our local board of election.
We
that
did?
We had. Oh Lord! So we had a local, or I don't know how local he is. He was in City View, they named this guy, Bob, somebody else, as a political watchdog.
Bob
Anyway,
Hall.
Bob Hall.
Yeah.
Okay. So apparently, Mr. Hall, he put together some complaints on both our chairwoman, Linda DeVore of the Cumberland County Board of Elections, and Brenda Eldridge, who's just one of the members. So you got Linda as the head, and Bree's just one of the other 4 members. Made some complaints to the State Board of Election. Now, the State Board of Election had a hearing on the 16th, which is last Thursday.
Yep.
And I believe without publicly hearing the information, they dismissed it. And I've been thinking about that for a minute. That looks bad, but maybe they already had read the stuff.
Did they really?
I don't know.
Because, okay, so if you actually watched it. Okay.
I didn't actually watch it.
Well, watch their conversation. They sit there and say, well, I don't even think she was on the Board of Elections at that time. Yeah, she was. I mean, I'm not saying...
But doesn't that lend you to think maybe they read the complaint beforehand?
That lends me to believe that they didn't even look at it. Because if you don't even know that she was serving in the Board of Elections, you didn't even read through
if the complaint was filed. Isn't it... shouldn't they have investigated and then made that announcement? So how do we know an investigation didn't happen?
Because if an investigation happened, then wouldn't they have said, well, they wouldn't have said, oh, I don't even think she was serving. No, I don't think she was serving, because they would have investigated it so that they would have known that she was serving.
Okay. All right. I mean, it did look like, and this
I'm not for or against. I'm happy that it's dismissed. I don't like things going out and whatever, yay, whatever. But that just kind of made me step back and say,
as conservatives, I have an expectation that the system works. I know things break, I know things break down, and things slip through. But I have a fundamental trust in the institutions we have of electing people and having people that appoint people. Like Dave Bullock is a state auditor. He appointed the head of the Board of the State Board of Elections. Okay, because
she's a smart woman. She's like so smart.
It's actually a guy.
Oh no, I was talking about the head of the Board of Elections.
The head of the Board of Elections, and then he does, and then the auditor now does have the purview.
Well, how smart can he be that he didn't know she was on the Board of Elections during that time? How much did they look into it? I'm just curious.
So this is where I was going to lead to. What role does partisanship have when it's in the wrong damn room? What I'm always concerned with, and it's always like, remember the lawfare against President Trump, and now the Democrats are crying foul because they're coming after us with once you weaponize these things, then both sides do it. So, like, we have a supermajority in the state house right now.
No, we don't.
Or the state, we do until the election, I think.
No, we lost it by 1.
Okay, well, we did. Whatever.
Okay. Yes.
When we had the supermajority, the thing that concerned me was just running roughshod over the other side. Needs, wants, whatever's. Because they're just going to turn around and do it twice as hard to you.
That's true.
Why don't we take our jerseys off when it goes into rooms that are supposed to benefit everybody?
Right.
Like a Board of Elections. I wish it was not partisan.
So are you saying that it was partisan that they didn't investigate it, or it's not partisan that they didn't investigate it?
I'm saying that being the party of rules and conservatism, that more things should be as open as we can make them.
100%.
And there should have been maybe some discussion.
100%.
If anything else, just lie to me. Let me think that y'all are going to be partisan at least. Because you don't even get the chance to hear it.
I never even thought to ask any of the 5 people that wrote. Maybe they reached out to them and talked to them. I wonder if they did.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do we have chat on?
No, we don't. Yeah, we do.
Okay.
We're by ourselves.
Oh,
we're by ourselves tonight.
But I'm just wondering, did maybe the Board of Elections did reach out and talk to them? I'm not sure.
I would think we would have heard about that. The people that brought the complaint are not little demure little ladies. I mean, they are serious people. So
there was a couple of little demure ladies there, at least one.
Demure? I don't know. I'm going to Google demure. Let me see if that.
Linda
applies.
McAllister.
Okay, I could see that. I could fit her in that mold. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, the key takeaway is that our head of the Cumberland County Board of Elections has been essentially
dismissed.
It's been dismissed. Don't say it's vindicated. I don't feel that there was. And her quote. So Ms. DeVore did make a quote to City View magazine as soon as the decision was taken down. And some people have talked to me about the speed of which she had that statement prepared, that it looked orchestrated. But I'm thinking best case, like on election
Maybe she
night, I've
had
got a
both.
speech in one hand
Right.
for if I win, and another one if I lose.
That's what and
So-
she's smart, and she's an
yes.
attorney, so she would be like, okay,
And
here
that's
we
an
go.
efficient way to work. I
think so.
You know,
She's very, very smart.
I think make the statement and move on with life.
That's
Probably
exactly
how
right. She was probably
felt
just
about
waiting
it.
to see
Like,
what happened.
either
right.
way, she's going home an attorney. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You know. But I'm always for a better show.
I think they would have done better to not have that conversation, because I was fine with whatever they decided until they said, I don't even think she was on the Board of Elections during this.
And then that leads into doubt, like, did they do their job?
Right. I would say no.
Yeah.
I have a hard
Well,
case.
look,
you know,
This is
and
going to
I'm
be...
a Republican, so I like rules. I like laws. I like order. We cannot call out the other side for doing this if we're doing it ourselves. If we're being dishonest and hiding things and sweeping things under the rug, we cannot hold other
I don't
people
think any of
accountable.
this rises to hiding and all. I just think there may not have been any merit.
No, I'm not saying that there was anything wrong.
Imagine how many complaints a state level agency gets.
Right.
I think Auditor Bullock mentioned something about that when we went from the chamber. We did a legislative day on Jones Street, and we went to see him. And I think he mentioned how many complaints they receive.
I'm sure they get
It's
a
an
lot.
avalanche. So
Yeah, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
They should keep their remarks, though, because it left me with a bad feeling.
it gives you a sense of, well, maybe they didn't research it. But
Right.
My thinking when this complaint rose out to the public, and I don't think it should have been released to the public, because I think a lot of people have some misinformation or misguided views on it. I felt like it shouldn't be tried in the court of public opinion. And I mentioned to somebody, well, if you think the result is going to be our chairwoman of the Board of Elections being dismissed, you're smoking something you probably shouldn't be. These complaints, I believe that this is not the first time Mrs. DeVore has had to deal with scrutiny from outside. And I'm not saying that like this is a pattern. I'm just saying she's in a position that is visible, and she's going to, if she's doing her job, she's probably going to upset somebody.
Right.
So, you know, if it was a Democrat-led state board of election,
It would have been a different outcome.
No, hold on, because that was a state board of election that was dominated by Democrats, and they didn't dismiss her then. So the notion that, oh, I'm going to go in front of a Republican conservative state board of election and get her dismissed, if you couldn't get it with the other side in charge, you're not going to get it with. But again, what's the role of our board of elections?
Nonpartisan. Make sure that our elections are but
Free, fair, open, and honest.
right.
Yeah.
Integrity. We are the party of voter integrity.
Absolutely. You can't count more votes than you had people.
Well, I guess.
Unless maybe, well, now the State Board of Elections says now they are taking action on U.S. citizens only voting, which to me is the height of like, we really have to do this?
Kind of weird, isn't it?
Why when did that become a bone of contention?
I don't know.
Like, oh, well, you're not a citizen, but here's your ballot. I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
I guess if you get a driver's license, which they say some of the illegal aliens, I'm going to call them what they are, illegal aliens, get licenses, then that's when you
Then
can
they register them?
vote.
Okay.
Yes. So,
Well, doesn't Real ID solve that problem because you're required to get
You're not-
passport or a birth certificate or something?
what happens if you just get a state ID for those people that don't get a real ID? Because there
Fair.
are some people that don't get real IDs.
Okay. But wouldn't the Real ID stop that at
It
the
would
gate?
if it was required, but it's not required.
Well, I think it is.
Well, now it might be,
Yeah,
but it wasn't
it
for a
is.
very long time. But you don't have to go get a new real ID until your old ID expires, which you've got like 8 or 10 years
yeah,
before.
yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
Well, I
I
mean,
have to get
they're phasing them out, but
Mhm. How long will it take? How many elections will be affected before then?
that's true. I mean,
And they say that some of the illegal aliens get social security numbers and information about other people, and they pretend to be other people. So I don't know.
look, there's a lot of noise around that. Let's look at what I came up with about the U.S. citizens only. So they made in the same meeting last week at Board of Elections, there was another outcome about vetting all these voter rolls. There's a lot of problems with our state board of elections as far as the age of the software we're using that goes through these rolls, and then the age of the software that communicates election results from the counties to the state. They're trying to patch that right now.
Oh,
and
that's
the
always
efforts
good.
of patching, well, it's written on a language that's probably dead.
Right. I don't like
And-
patches. Let's just get new
Well,
software.
New software is like a $50 million bargain or something. I think they asked for 3 or 4 million, something like that, on the order of fewer than 10 million to just keep it going for 2 years. They have bids out to get the software, get new systems. And Auditor Bullock, remember, he actually doesn't even use the state information technology.
Right.
He uses his own.
Right.
He's using like Microsoft AI or something, remember?
Yep. I remember.
He's very proactive.
Mhm.
And the State Board of Elections being under his purview now, I think he's going to.
But see, I
carry
would
that
rather, okay, that's kind of like putting a patch on something and spending millions of dollars that's not your own. It's our taxpayer money to do a patch for the time being where you can take that's 10% of what it could be to actually fix the problem, and let's not patch it. It's the difference between me buying a Walmart t-shirt, washing it once and not being able to wear it, and buying a INC or a Casual Corner t-shirt for $75 and still being able to wear it 25 years later. So,
well, I see a few people watching us, so give us a shout, say hello if you're in the room.
hello.
If you have questions for Laura or I, we know a little bit to be dangerous, so
I
reach
don't
out.
know anything. I'm just
I know a
winging
couple
it.
of 3 things, so
Yeah.
but yeah, I would have to learn more about what they're doing. But imagine if we're asking for this patch, it probably is a neglected system that nobody would prioritize the budgeting. And I think you have a director of the state board that's lobbying. He's going through the halls of
To
legislature.
me, this
and
is
he's
one
trying
of
to
the
get it.
most important, again, to me as a Republican or as just a United States citizen, screw the Republican, Democrat, I don't really care. One of the best and greatest things about our country is the fact that we get to vote.
Yeah.
And it's very upsetting when I find Americans that don't vote. And it's very upsetting the low percentage of people that do vote. But so this is so important for the people that do vote that should be state of the
So
art.
the only thing that bothers me is the maintenance of the voter roll to make sure that it's U.S. citizens only voting. That to me is the one main role of upgrading the software. Is let's get that straight.
Right.
But as far as our elections, I think if we just remain with the paper ballots and the
Always paper
tried and
ballots.
true tabulators, even though they're slow, and even though we might report them a little late, but we're going to have our election and we will have the receipts for what happened
Yes,
that day.
always paper ballots.
And I think, I believe I did hear the director say, like, paper's here to stay.
Good.
Yeah. So
Yes, I
that's a
like
good
paper.
thing. But,
Hi, Bambi.
hey. So
I hope you're doing well.
yes.
And
Actually,
family.
we do have some things of brewing in Hope Mills we're going to have to dig into. It's been a busy weekend.
Something's
my
brewing in
whole
Hope
trip
Mills.
down and up was on the phone, majority with people. So
I love me some Jesse Bellflowers.
yes,
so tell
we
me.
do. We do. We have a. It's hard to describe right now. I want to put it in the right context.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to definitely have to start talking to some folks for
Okay.
sure. Is it clear that I don't want partisanship in certain rooms? Did I make that clear enough?
I think our partisanship is too much in every single room instead of just basing it on what's right and what's wrong. Too many people are looking at, well, that's a Republican thing or a Democrat thing. No, it's an American thing. We're all Americans first. And we have some things, some people care about more stuff than others, and that's all fine and good. But I think too many people just look at, oh, well, that's this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I think one thing in common I think you'd find with a lot of politicians right now is if you ask them how to change the world for the better, they would say to reduce the partisanship, to reduce the level of people arguing so viscerally towards each other. Just be in the room. Look, I don't agree with that. So, okay, let's move on.
it's okay to not agree.
Yeah, it's
That's
all right.
Okay.
It doesn't make you stupid.
Mhm.
I mean, obviously, if you don't agree with me, I mean, there's something wrong. But,
Right.
I mean,
I
there's
thought
got
it
to
was
be
a
some
mistake,
kind of,
yeah.
I'm not saying Laura particular, I'm saying somebody else. If they don't listen to me, I mean, that's fine. I mean, dummy,
What's
go
the
ahead.
hive? What's the hive?
know. Oh, no, I haven't been to the Hive yet. That is a food truck.
Oh,
round-
yeah.
yeah,
It's like
right.
the truck stop downtown. Okay.
Mhm. It is
No.
in Hope Mills.
Mhm.
So Hope Mills is coming up, man. There's a lot of good stuff going on out
I'm
there.
coming up.
Well,
I
we ought
walk
to.
away.
I mean, if Bambi wants to talk about it, we should send her a link. Let her join the show. So what else? We had, there's something else that we haven't mentioned. Oh, so all this hubbub at the Board of Elections is starting to boil over into disciplining and terminating county employees.
Oh, no.
And I'm a little bit concerned with the precedent there. So if I criticize government, which I do often, I may or may not have an opinion on a lot of stuff.
No, you do.
One thing that I've always tried to explain to people is my gripe is not with the city county employees, the people that make our cities and counties work. Maybe the city manager, maybe the county manager, because those guys are at the head of that. But I have met and worked along with a lot of people in our city, the Fayetteville city government, to come to good resolution and make agreements and make it better for everybody.
Right.
So I have a good opinion about a lot of the people I've ever interfaced with the county. You're always going to run into some surly clerk that just had a bad day and is taking your property. Right. I mean, that's going to happen. What I'm afraid of as citizen commissions and boards, if I'm appointed to something, like I'm on the Civic Center Commission, an elected official recommended I be appointed to that board. I'm on there at the pleasure of the elected official. Do I have the right to start trying to fire people at the Crown? If I don't like that, and if he ever sees this, Seth, I don't dislike you, but if I wanted to fire Seth, the GM at the Crown,
I think would
that be okay?
I think if you saw some gross inefficiencies, then you could come up with some information and say, here's what I see, and you guys do what you want, but this is what I see as a gross inefficiency and how it's hindering us. It would have to be real solid.
But he doesn't work for the county. Well, okay, in this case.
He does work for you because you're a taxpayer and the taxpayers pay for the Crown.
Don't be that guy. I pay taxes. I pay your salary. No.
Well, I'm not saying
eventually
that.
We do.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying if you, as a business person, are on the board to oversee the Crown and you see some gross inefficiencies, hey, that doesn't look right. There's some issues, and you discuss it among the board, and you're like, okay, well, whatever. Then you can bring those.
But it should be brought for resolution before you move to dismissal.
Yes.
That's what I don't think is happening with our Board of Elections. And our head of the Cumberland County Board of Elections, the head employee, the director, Angie Amaro, has come under some scrutiny.
For what?
I don't know yet. I don't have the details. I just know that there's a petition to the State Board of Elections that Ms. Amaro has to defend herself in the next week or two. So.
But we don't know what for.
We don't know what for.
I mean, maybe
I don't have
she,
the specifics.
Lost some important information. I don't know.
What I can say is the things that I know and what I've seen.
Okay.
You mentioned just because you know
she's always nice when I go
just
down
because
there.
you're always you're personally know him, that doesn't mean you're right. I don't know if she burned a box of I don't think she did, but I don't think she did anything that pronounced, that egregious. Okay?
Perhaps maybe the people that are doing this have asked her to do something specific, and she's not fulfilling her obligation to them. I don't know.
In their opinion, it's kind of like, you remember when anybody goes to court and no justice, no peace, they make that that chant. Just because you don't like the outcome doesn't mean the process wasn't followed. Were you given due process? Were you judged by a jury of your peers? So
I don't know what they're complaining about. I don't know what the problem is.
Hopefully we're gonna get looped in on that. But I just want to say that I think as an appointed person on a board, I don't feel like I have the right to directly get somebody terminated. Like on the Civic Center Commission, I'd have to talk to the man's company.
Correct.
And the board of we'd have to make a recommendation to the Board of Commissioners to then talk to the county manager to follow. You got to follow the chain of command in this stuff. And to me, I feel like we bypassed the county chain of command.
Oh, did we? I don't know all about
it. The petition was written straight to the director of the State Board of Election.
I have an issue with that.
So
it's the same issue that I have with the people that made the complaint. They went to the local, they went to the local, they went to the state, they went to the state, they went to the state. Now it's time to go to the public. So if you go to the public, if you go to the county,
what are you looking for?
Where do I plug this in?
It's like 1,000 plugs around here.
No, I can't see one with it just
probably underneath. All right, be patient. I'll help you out. So, I have worked for the Board of Elections as a precinct official and then later as a precinct judge.
Mm-hmm.
I even knew it well enough. They actually sent me to teach other people at a different, one or two times.
Might think you're smart.
Yeah, eventually. It's right under here. You'd have to get under there. It's hard to see. So I've worked with the Board of Elections. We have an election coming in November. Early voting begins sometime in October. So from April to October is how many months? 6?
Mm-hmm.
Is now the time to terminate the head of the Board of Elections?
Probably not.
I believe a lot of bench strength would be lost if there's no way to communicate and dialogue the alleged misdeeds,
right?
And we go straight to termination. How are we going to staff that department later on?
I don't know, especially with somebody
who's going to want to work there,
right?
And furthermore, I mean, I know a lot of them down there. I don't know a lot of them. I'm just observing a lot. They don't look to be very far from retirement age. So what's to stop half the department from just departing?
I don't know.
And then where are we going to be with elections? Because you can't do it by yourself.
Oh, I know.
So having been a precinct official and a precinct judge, I've always complimented Cumberland County Board of Elections on how organized. There's been some times, but when you're working for them, everything is down to the color code, page number, do this on an hourly basis. And if you don't, they're calling you.
Right.
So that takes a lot of coordination. So that's where I feel like partisanship is in the wrong room sometimes. And I hope it's not a partisan issue. I hope whatever it is can be worked out. And I wish a lot of luck to Mrs. Amaro and to all the people that they're going to have to come to the carpet and answer. So I hope they're able to do so in a reasonably easy manner. So, okay, off my soapbox now.
Okay.
So what else we got going on? I mean, this week.
Oh, you just told me about something that happened on Facebook.
Yes. Okay. So, and I've already. Actually, there's 2 things that happened on Facebook. There was yesterday. There was a. This is so stupid. Bahama Breeze. There was somebody went to.
They're not Bahama Breeze anymore, are they?
They are still.
Okay.
So there was a disturbance because somebody's car was getting repoed, and then of course they called the cops, made a big scene. So that made Watch Out Cumberland County. I thought that was pretty amusing.
Nice.
It's like, look, and there's one guy going around Fayetteville. He's a repo man. He's been filming his repossessions and putting it on TikTok. He's quick.
Really?
He's really quick.
Like,
yeah, he just swoops in and gets it. And it's funny. It's all the ones that park in front of like Food Lion or Family Dollar or whatever. When they park right in front of the door, it's always them that he's getting. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. That's what he does.
But he's not getting it because they're in the fire lane. He's getting it because they haven't paid their car note.
Really?
So yeah. So right before we came on, there was a post from Community Awareness Alliance. There was an exchange. There was a quote from both Chairman Kirk Deviere of the Cumberland County Board of Commissioners, basically expressing his disappointment at candidate Janine Ackles, who's running for a state house seat against Diane Wheatley on the east side of Fayetteville or Cumberland County. Apparently, Chairman Deviere alleges that Ms. Ackles basically called him dishonest. I don't know about what. But
do we have a recording? Can we see it?
Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, he said, and the thing is, he says, I find it disingenuous that you attacked a fellow Democrat and questioned my integrity. And the thing about it is, Kirk is a seasoned politician. And I don't say that in a bad way, but he's got a pretty thick skin.
Right.
I can only imagine the amount of stuff he has coming at him. For him to actually take the time to make a statement about that, I think that lends some credibility to what was said to me. But I would like to see the video if there is one.
Yeah, I want to see the video.
So if anybody's got some video, send it in. Let's play it. So yeah, that happens. There's always stuff happening.
He used the line. I love me some Kirk. Please. I'm not criticizing Kirk at all. But I hate that line. You're criticizing a fellow Democrat. we should be criticizing fellow Republicans, fellow Democrats if you mess up. I don't believe he did.
Holding them accountable is different than criticizing them.
Right.
Criticizing is like you're ugly and your mama's so ugly, this kind of stuff.
How ugly is she?
I don't know. They had to put a ribeye around her neck for the dog to play with her. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
My mom is beautiful. But anyway, no, I would like to see exactly what was said but I don't like that statement for you to.
It makes it as if you're not allowed to speak out against somebody else in the room.
He could have said, I don't appreciate that. I'd like to know specifically in what way you're talking about it or whatever. But I don't like that. I'm a Republican. You can't talk against me. No, I can. That's called freedom of the speech.
Well, but again, in the right room, in the right place, in the right time.
I don't know. What is that CPAC, CDC?
Cumberland Community Awareness Alliance, and it was CCDP. So I would say Cumberland County Democratic Party. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what that's from. There was a candidate forum on Sunday that these folks held. So it is on video. We can find it.
Okay,
I shall do so.
I would like to see exactly what was said, and I
will tell you, I watched that for maybe 5 minutes or so. Mr. McDuffie was on there as the sheriff candidate. Ms. Ackles was there. I think Glenn Adams was walking in as I tuned in. Charles Evans was there, and so was Vice Chair Veronica Jones was there.
Are we going to have any of those people?
And Sheila Cuffey was there, and Sheila Cuffey and Glenn Adams have essentially won their elections because they
don't have any Republicans.
They don't have any. There's no opposition in the fall, and there's 2 seats, and there's two. They're right there, but. And I don't know if this was naivete, I'm sorry, on the part of some of these guys when they're answering, but the way they speak about finances and budgets is as if nobody else before them has cared about anybody in this county. It's like, well, we need to prioritize. What do you think you're supposed to do as an elected official? It's all a balancing game. Right. You're not trying to prioritize your district,
right?
Especially in the county.
Right.
There's 2 districts, and then there's the 2 at-large, seats. You're all for one for all.
Right.
And then
that's
some
why
of
I don't
the candidates.
Like the districts in the city council either. I think we should have more different.
And the other thing is the candidates were discussing things that are already in progress. One was discussing we need clean water. Didn't we have Chairman Devier on here a couple weeks ago? What are we doing about the water? We already have set up districts. We're already trying to find money for this district and that district. So it's already underway.
I think that they just talk to hear themselves talk, that they don't exactly know exactly what's going on. But they could say, I can see, to me, it would be like, okay, so the county has this, and this in place. And I think that's a great way. Here's what I would do differently. Instead of just criticizing other people. That's one of the things that I was watching actually about national elections. Somebody saying this is a bad thing, and then when somebody takes care of it, they're like, well, you're bad for taking care of it, as opposed to, okay, so now you're taking care of it, here's what I would have done differently, and this is why.
Okay, but
that would be more productive.
The 5 or 10 minutes I watched, I'm telling you that the guys running, the ladies and people that are running right now are using information from 2 years ago.
Okay.
They need to update their books. They need to get with the number one thing when you're running for office, I think, is start where we're at, learn all you can, and then try to learn some backstory.
I'm about to die.
Are you? All right. Well, we're about to get off here. So.
Okay.
Here, take that.
Okay.
I just.
TikTok dead.
I will.
Dead.
What I want to see out of any candidate forum is I want to see real solutions. And all I heard at that CCDP meeting was just a bunch of fluff.
Or even the fact that, hey, this is a problem, and I see that the county commissioners are handling it. If it comes up, I like the way they're handling it. I'm going to continue on that path. It's okay to admit, even if you're running against somebody, that somebody is handling something okay,
right,
and that you agree with it, and you would continuum of care.
I'm completely with you. Yeah. So you mentioned, I think it's about time we get up and get out of here. Let's see if we can get this right. We will be having, hopefully this week, we will have Vice Chairwoman Veronica Jones on Wednesday. I've been talking to her, so if I can nail down her schedule, then she should be here Wednesday.
She likes me.
Next Monday, you're likable a little bit.
Everyone.
Monday, we'll have Lulu Windham, who's running for sheriff as a Republican. I will be I did speak to Charles Evans over the weekend, so we're going to bring Charles on the show. And let's see, Miss Cuffey, I'm still going to ask her to come back on.
Yeah, she's already got
And
the
Glenn.
job.
So yeah, she's already in. So she
They're
should
already
come on.
in, but they should still come in.
And so who else did I see? So Mr. McDuffie, we're going to have him back on for sure. So
We got Lenny coming back.
yeah, Lenny from the what was that? That ranked choice voting
Yes.
guys. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Even though you didn't like it.
I don't like brain juice.
I know you don't. So, well, anyway, to everybody watching, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Please head over to our website that we are working on as well.
We are.
Yeah, one of us is
I was gonna say-
thecarolinacabinet.com. You can see all of our links and shows, and you can send us a message or sign up to be a guest. So with that, I'm Peter Pappas with Laura Mussler. We are the Carolina Cabinet, and we are out of here. Good evening. Good night.